What's up, guys? Welcome back to another edition of Married to Reality. It's the Match Me Abroad edition. I'm your co-host, John, here with my wife and co-host. It's one only Teresa right there.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing?
One only Teresa right there.
The one and only.
There's others.
But not like me.
And they go by the name Teresa or Therese.
Or Teresa.
Or Teresa.
Ah.
Yeah, we don't get to talk about our Czech friends this episode.
I know. I mean, that's why I watch it.
This is basically the only reason why we watch it. But
no, I do like it. I do like Match Me Abroad a lot, actually. But what's going on? Isn't there supposed to be another person in Czech?
Yeah.
We have all these people everywhere else.
Yeah.
And nothing in Czech.
You know what they say, Teresa?
What stays in Czech? What happens in Czech stays in Czech?
They definitely say that. And screw Vegas for stealing that from them. But they say save the best for last.
Oh.
They also say leave them wanting more.
No. What else do they say?
They say, I don't know. The early bird gets the worm. So maybe Harold got the worm, but
doesn't make any sense.
Sure it does.
Do birds like worms?
Birds love worms.
Okay.
A lot of animals like worms.
Really?
Fish.
Oh, yeah.
Fish like worms.
Yeah, worms are kind of like meh.
Yeah.
I used to dig for them.
Yeah. We
Hens like worms.
Sure, absolutely. Chickens. No worm eating this episode, but there was some insect eating.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, I have a lot to say about Suzanne.
Oh, God.
She's a moron.
She's an absolute moron. A lot of these people, primarily the matchmakers, are morons. Well, actually, that whole Colombia
exactly,
is
right?
just full of morons.
It's because...
Not the country. Let me clarify. Not the country. Those traveling to and the matchmakers in.
Yes. Listen, I think Nina is a good matchmaker. I think Katarina is a good matchmaker. I think Juan should start looking for a different job because he has two people very unsuccessfully matched, and now another person's going to Colombia. To Juan.
Yeah.
How is he getting all these peeps?
Yeah. I don't know what's going on over there. I think I said it last episode. I want to know what Juan did before this.
Juan will be perfect for Married at First Sight because they also suck.
They also stink.
Speaking of...
Oh, boy.
I didn't even watch this week. I told you I wasn't feeling well on Wednesday.
And most of you guys probably don't know that we were separated this week because I had to do some traveling. The Patreon friends know.
Yes.
Because they got a remote episode.
And that's why we are delayed because Match Me Abroad basically takes place of maths from now on. Although, freaking maths. We might still cover one more episode. We'll see. We'll see. But so sorry for the delay, guys. By Wednesday, John was away and I just was so stuffy I couldn't talk. I felt like I have a potato of...
No, don't say it.
I don't even know how to pronounce it.
Good.
I felt like I have a potato stuck in my throat.
Okay.
So I couldn't really talk and I was super stuffy. So I think it's for the best. I feel much better today. I can chat again. You are back.
I'm back, and the flesh is always better.
But I feel like a lot of you guys messaged us and Maps was wild. So I feel like I kind of want to watch.
Well, let's watch for
It was
sure.
all the old peeps.
I know. I heard Lindsay was on one.
I'm telling you, if Lindsay is there, I'm watching because she is so out of control.
Mm-hmm.
She and I always forget that her and Alyssa were on the same season. What a season.
What a good season. We know it's coming back to Denver shortly. And that is a debate amongst the management here at this podcast as to whether or not we're going to cover it.
The leadership.
The management, Teresa and myself, and everyone who's called in has said, you guys got to cover it.
Yeah, you guys are still Mavsies. You know how you have Swifties, you have Mavsies.
Nice.
Right?
Nice. Yeah.
You guys are Mavsies.
I'm such a fool.
Are you a Mavsie?
Sure. I'm such a fool that I'm like, this next season's probably going to be great. I never learn. I never learn from my mistakes.
I know, but they just need to do good matching, like good people who bring some drama.
Yeah.
Like that's all that matters. All these freaking people in Nashville, they all became friends. And then the one couple that could have been maybe interesting quit.
Mm-hmm.
So then you thought that it's going to be drama, and all of a sudden they're just like, let's just be friends, and everyone's fucking friends.
Yeah.
And the dogs are involved, and we all watch it for the dogs.
Shout out to Hank.
And
Duchess,
yeah. But they need some drama between the actual people.
I couldn't agree more.
Like Lindsay.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking Lindsay.
Mm-hmm. I say I never learned my lesson. Maybe the Mavs producers never learned their lessons. Come on.
You knew that the Boston season was going to be good when they opened up with Lindsay and Mark the Shark, and Lindsay was hammered before she even walked down the aisle.
Mac the Shack. Yeah.
Mark the Shark.
Yeah. When you tallied up the number of cats they had, you said, this is not going to end well, and I'm here for it.
At least they already had the cats.
True.
Oh, that's where I was like, you know what? There's a cat test.
You open the door.
You open the door and see how many actually love you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably like 0, or unless you have a fat cat that's just like, screw that.
Yeah, Teresa.
What?
Now Teresa's coming out. I'm going to peel back the curtain as a courtesy because we guys made you wait for this. Teresa's really come around on cats, and now this is just a bit she does. Teresa's actually like very into cats these days.
Well, I saw a cool video of a cat kayaking, paddleboarding,
And
surfing.
Stand-up paddleboarding, more or less.
Yeah, and the cat looked like a wild cat, but it was a home cat that loved the water.
Yeah.
I love different.
Sure.
And so I was like, oh, this cat is not that bad.
Yeah.
I
But-
would potentially give it a piece of tuna.
Very nice of you.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
All right.
I think our friends who've been listening to us for a while, they know about my cat bits because I don't get shit anymore.
That's very true.
So I think everyone just knows that I tease cats. But if I really have to be honest, the one animal I truly dislike is,
Oh, boy, hold on. Let me think about this one.
you know, an animal I would not want to touch or pet or be around.
A goat?
Well, yeah, screw them, but there is
Oh.
another one.
Oh.
I still eat goat cheese, so.
I know you're getting redemption. Sheep?
I love sheep.
They're a little rougher than you expect, but if there's one animal and
Yeah.
it's not a cat,
They're very close to us.
oh, monkeys.
I don't like monkeys, guys.
You'll come. That's the next one. We got to work on her for monkeys.
No.
No, you can't trust a monkey.
No,
You turn around, they steal your food, they steal your purse.
they're too smart.
They're like us.
Exactly. That's why they creep me out.
Yeah.
I just had the conversation with my dad literally like 15 minutes ago. And he's like, why don't you like monkeys? I'm like, it's like looking at me with a big red butt.
If you didn't shave your face and get whatever scab you were talking about before, you would look like a monkey.
Probably.
Anyway,
I get itchy sometimes. I scratch myself.
Can we do the show?
Oh, well, which one are we doing?
Full disclosure, Therese and I haven't seen each other in person in like a week, so we're basically catching up right now. But yes, we're here to do Match Me Abroad.
Oh, yeah.
Before we do, real quick, a little business here. We're on Instagram at Married to Reality Pod. If you follow us on Instagram, then you knew that we were going to be delayed. And it's just one of the reasons, one of the sadder reasons to follow us on social media is that so you get updates with scheduling. The fun reasons are sometimes we post memes. We chat with you guys, which is very fun.
Yeah.
So make sure you're following at Married to Reality Pod if you're not already. Also, join the Patreon. Patreon.com/Married to Reality. We are currently covering Love in Paradise.
Yes.
But all good things or all decent things must come to an end at some point, and that will, and we'll cover something else to be determined.
And it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be, I'm hopeful that it will be awesome. So patreon.com/Married to Reality. Check it out. Join us there if you want even more content. And also make sure you're following us wherever you're listening right now so that if there is an unfortunate delay like we've experienced, then as soon as we drop the episode, you'll get it to your device. You don't have to be like, well, I think they drop Match Me Abroad on Wednesdays. I'm checking Wednesday and it's not there. I'm checking all day Wednesday. Well, now you know if you follow, boom, you get it as soon as we drop it. It's so easy to,
Yeah, I was just going to say, and we posted it on Instagram that we're going to be delayed.
Teresa.
Did you just say that?
Rewind about 45 seconds.
I was thinking about something.
Okay. So it's so easy to follow the podcast. Just look down, smash that follow button.
Guys, Snatch It Like It's his hood is doing the ATVs in the desert.
Terrible.
What are you talking about?
It's a fantastic activity. I will get into why I said terrible during the show. Okay?
Okay, I thought it was fun. You get a goggles so you don't have sand in your face.
We'll get into it.
You know what I would, if we ever go to Morocco, which we were supposed to, but thanks COVID, we didn't. I want to snowboard on sand dunes.
All right. Save it for the main pod because everyone's skipping through this right now.
Oh.
So, and Smash Like It's as hot as ATVs. And last but not least, well, actually not last but not least, there's something else I wanted to add to the business, but something we love is love. And if you haven't left a review, please do. Last but not least, something I thought about recently. The best thing you can do for this podcast, aside from follow and join the Patreon and follow us on Instagram, tell a friend. Spread the love. We love and spread the love. If you're in a Facebook group or something and someone asks about podcast recommendations, share the name, share the love. We love spread the word.
Yes, spread the love.
Spread love. So that's the last thing. That's all I wanted to add.
Oh, I like that. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Thank you. All right. Shall we do it? Shall we? The reason we are here, we have made you guys wait long enough. We're here to talk about Match Me Abroad, Season 1, Episode
5.
Double checking. Yes, Episode 5. All right. Let us start with a man who we've not seen too much from up until now. We're 5 episodes in. We've gotten a taste. We've wet our palate, as they say.
Okay, that sounds interesting. But
do they say that? We've wet our palate. I think so.
You said when you're about to drink.
We've wet our palate.
Sounds dirty.
I don't believe it is.
Okay.
We have been teased, shall I say.
Still dirty.
We have been, our interest has been piqued.
Still dirty.
No, it is not. No, it is not, you slut.
When you when you say pig, you know what I picture.
Climaxing?
No, your peak.
That is not a thing.
Like a peak of a penis. No?
No. What is a peak of a penis?
I don't know, that thing that looks like a mushroom.
Oh, God.
Too early?
Yeah.
We should post this after 10.
Yeah. Wow. I've lost my train of thought. Anyways, it's been about 5 episodes, and all we know is that Mark likes to travel and he's looking for a mate. But that all suffice to say, now we get to see him interact with a woman other than Nina the matchmaker because he's got his first date.
Yes, and his first date is with Soukaina, who is 24, which for Mark's taste, she's a little too young for what he's looking for. If it was fun, I'm sure he would love it. But what Nina says is, Nina is like, I want him to have fun on his first date.
Okay. He's 24. She's 24. She's 24. But she's ambitious. She does want to move to the States. She does want to have a family. So a lot of boxes are being checked here.
You know what's interesting? If you think about it, right? On 90 Day, all these people, all these Americans, like, they're always like, are we being scammed? Do they really just want to be with me to move to America?
Yes.
For these guys, that's a must. That's on the list. Must wanting to move to America.
For Mark.
Well, for a lot of them.
For a lot. For most.
That's the thing. Like, okay, I'm dating abroad, but you need to want to move to America.
Sure. I think it's the same with 90 Day.
No, it's not.
All except the other way. No one's saying, oh, I want to move to that country. They're saying you have to be willing to. I think there's a difference between I'm willing to move to America and I want to move to America. You want to talk about love in paradise. Anna wants to move to America.
Loves America.
And she'll deal with Matt to get there. So I think there's a huge difference. And it's one worth clarifying when you start your relationship with a foreigner. Are you okay with moving to America? Or have you been trying and dying to move to America?
True.
Okay. I think Soukaina is willing to move to, and maybe more than willing. Maybe she's excited to, but I don't know that she's looking for a man to take her to America. I don't know.
Well, she's definitely not very traditional as you would picture a Moroccan woman to be. And this is where, so they meet at this ATV rental place, and this is where Mark realizes how young she is, because she's like, I need to take a test to drive. I don't know how to drive. And he's like, oh, well, maybe I'll just drive.
So, okay. I said it before. I'll say it again. I think the ATV is a fun activity. I think it's a terrible first date. Let me qualify. I think it's a terrible first date. Second date, maybe. Third date, you betcha.
I don't like the double ATVs. Get on your own. It's more fun.
Teresa, that would be a terrible date then. I don't like it because they had to yell just to hear each other. It's as bad as going to a loud bar on a first date and you're trying to yell and get to know the person.
Been there, done that, and look at us now.
It wasn't loud.
It was loud. It was an Irish bar.
It was an Irish pub, yeah.
You planned for us to meet at a tiny cocktail place that no one goes to just so it was quiet.
Yep.
Ended up at a loud bar, and look at us now.
Look at us now. We're the exception to the rule for many things when it comes to relationships. But I just think...
What do you mean? Elaborate.
I think we're very fortunate. I think we're special. I think we're unique. I don't think most couples have what we have. That's all I'm saying,
That's
Teresa.
very true.
Yeah,
most couples don't have a podcast.
You got that right. But we're the exception to the rule. I think going to a noisy place, going ATVing, going somewhere, it's already uncomfortable, the get to know you phase. Now add on top of it, I have to scream. I have to say, what? There's a strong chance that she has an accent, being from another country.
Yeah.
It's not ideal for me. I don't like it. I don't think it's a serious first date. Again, pretty good second date, great third date.
Okay.
But as a first date, not for me.
Okay, I see your point. But luckily, ATVing is not all they're doing, because they got to this point where they got off the ATV and got into this tiny tent, drinking a tea with this guy sitting there with them.
It's always a chaperone.
I don't get that. Is it because...
He's the bartender.
No, but here's what I think. Is it because they're not married and it's Morocco?
It's an interesting point, because we shouldn't gloss over the fact that Mark is always pushing the boundary. He's always testing the limits of, what would happen if I held your hand, even though we're not married? Which is the main thing I can say I dislike about Mark's approach to this. If you're going to go to another country and find love, you should respect the laws of that country.
Well, I think he is. I think he does this in a way that no one can really tell. Like grabbing her hand and be like, oh, is this legal? Joking about it
can tell.
On the ATV.
She can tell. That's disrespectful to her culture. That's her culture.
True.
It's not two Americans on vacation. He's like, oh, you know we're not supposed to do this? It's her culture.
True.
That's disrespectful.
Okay, I see your point. All right.
So that's my main critique of Mark is I get it. It's not our culture here in America. And we might think, oh, this is ridiculous. We could be making out on a first date at a bar they can still do that. In Phoenix, Arizona, and no one would bat an eye. So I get it. It's different, but embrace it. Be interested in it. And if nothing else, don't disrespect it. That's
True.
it. That's it. So, okay, yes. They do get to sit down to talk. Mark is definitely finding her attractive, if nothing else.
Oh, she's very pretty.
Very pretty. She's the girl that would smoke cigarettes at the tennis court during high school. She has a Paramore cover band.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, I do too, but it's a very distinct vibe.
She looked like she could be in one of those like Hunger Game movies.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Never seen it.
Yeah, she just has that look. And I guess it was the whole like goggles and covering the head with
helps.
that, what
The
do you call
helmet?
it? Yeah, the helmet. Like I was like, all right, like I can see you all either on the Hundreds or the Hunger Games.
What's the Hundreds?
It's about like these people who escaped the Earth because it was dying out. So they lived in space for hundreds of years. And then all the jailed kids, like teenagers, they tested them if the radiation is down again. So they send them back to the Earth. They sent hundreds of them.
Anyways.
And eventually everyone else came and...
This is why I don't watch these shows. So she does want to start her own fashion brand, right? So she does have that like creative vibe.
Yeah, for sure.
So they're talking. She's into Mark. She says, She says, oh, yeah, he's got so many life experiences. He's smart. That's what I'm looking for. She may have some daddy issues.
Oh, she definitely has daddy issues. And I also feel like she was saying things that she thought he wants to hear.
True.
I don't think she was truly being herself. I think she was playing to the, oh, here's the American. And, all right, he's asking me if I want to work. Yeah, I totally want to work. Like, I want to do all this just so you kind of appear in a certain way. Maybe she feels this way, but
she
definitely...
does.
Yeah, but I feel like she definitely was kind of playing his cards.
I think she's ambitious because I do think she wants to start her own fashion line. I think she's got big aspirations. And when I say that out loud, I go, okay, maybe she does want to get to America and build her brand and start this business.
Yeah, she would love Scottsdale.
Oh, yeah? No, she wouldn't.
No?
That's not, she is the antithesis of Scottsdale. She would hate the Scottsdale girls.
That's probably true. I didn't even belong there.
And you have blonde hair.
True.
The Scottsdale girls are Micah from Love is Blind. And her friend, whatever. Hobag number 2.
Yeah. And what's her name? From Farmer Wants a Wife.
Oh,
Cassidy Joe.
Cassidy Joe. Yeah. I actually like Cassidy Joe. She's out of her mind. But
she's out of control, but she's good TV.
She's good TV. So, yeah, I don't think Soukaina would fit in with those girls.
Yeah, I didn't either. No one wears a lot of black there.
No. But okay. I think they had a good time.
I think so too. And Mark is like, let me take a selfie so I have a memory of this date.
Do something to it later.
But she would like to see him again. I don't think he wants to. I think it was a fun date. She's beautiful, but she's too young. I mean, he's in Morocco on a mission, not to have fun, but he wants to find a wife. And I don't think she was a wife material for him.
Not for him.
Yeah.
For somebody else.
Yeah.
Perhaps. Okay. That is Mark and Soukaina. I think that's a good place to take a break.
Oh my gosh. We forgot. I skipped over my notes for whatever reason because classic me, right? We skipped over this part where they're talking about age.
Oh yeah.
And she's like, and she's telling him, oh, you don't look 44. And she, do you remember what
she said,
say?
I feel like we're the same age.
Yeah. And so Mark was like, oh, so you feel like you're almost 50. And she's like, yeah, some mornings I wake up and I feel like I'm gonna die. That was the best line of this show.
It's called a hangover, Soukaina. We've all been there.
I just love that that what she thinks that people in their 40s feel like. You wake up and you feel like you're going to die.
Well, that's what I was going to say when we were talking at the top of the segment about them is age is just a number.
Absolutely.
I truly believe that. So when you say, oh, she's too young for him, there are 24-year-olds who are more mature than 40-year-olds and vice versa.
Absolutely. Listen, I totally agree. But this brings me back to, I can't believe I skipped over. This brings me back to my point saying she was saying things he wants to hear, basically. Because he was like, oh, yeah, I'm older. Like, you feel like you're almost 50.
Right.
She's like, yeah, some mornings I feel like I wake up and I feel like I'm going to die. She's like, well, that's like maybe when you're 90, you can feel this way.
Hopefully.
So she went too far. But I was like, okay, I don't think there's going to be a second date.
Yeah, it's not a match, but it was fun while it lasted.
It was fun, yeah.
All right, can we take a break?
Now we can.
Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about everyone else we saw this episode. We'll be back in a second.
Hey guys, today's episode is brought to you by Ave, the obvious choice in health and wellness. Ever since I learned that we start losing collagen as we get older, I've been looking for ways to get more of it into my diet for my hair, my skin, and my joints. I tried several brands and they all tasted not so good. You guys know, John is a picky eater.
Hey, there is, I'm right here, but guilty.
Well, I'm a picky supplement taker. I can't tell you how many half-full jars of protein and collagen we have in our cabinet. But when I tried Ave, it was a game changer! There's so many flavors. I've been going with a peanut butter cup super collagen protein, and it literally tastes like peanut butter. 10 grams of collagen, 9 grams of protein, 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and only 40 calories. It's only been a few weeks, but I feel like I hop out of bed a little easier, and John's actually been complimenting me on my hair a little more.
I know some goats that would love to snack on that hair, Teresa.
Oh, don't get me started on that. But there is one more thing I have to tell you about. Obvious apple cider vinegar gummies. Not only can they help with weight loss, reduce cholesterol, and lower blood sugar levels, they taste like candy. And here's the best news of all. Our listeners can get 25% off today with code MERIT at myobvi.com. That's myobvi.com and use promo code MERIT, MERRIED, to get 25% off today. I'll also make John put a link in the show notes.
You got it.
Thank you, Avi, for sponsoring this podcast. And let Avi help you reach your goals this summer.
And we're back.
Hello, ahoy. Although there is no Harold, so hello, Jonathan.
I got excited for a second. I was like, oh, Harold? Nope.
No
sucky,
Harold.
Sucky Susan.
Ugh. Susan, okay. Susan is destined to be alone if she keeps the tooth.
But this?
And the dog. Like, the dog doesn't have to go on every single date.
Thank you. But episode 1, you turn it on and you go, oh, Susan, she's attractive, she's smart, she's successful, she's got money, lives in a city with 8.5 million people. What is she doing going to another country to find love? You watch a couple episodes of her and you go, oh, everyone is tired of Susan in America.
She has a tooth.
Did you just learn the word toot? Yeah. You did?
I learned it on TV this week.
I was going to ignore it the first time. I'm like, I don't think I've ever heard Teresa say toot. But
she has such a toot.
She does have
I forgot what I was watching. Some stupid show.
You're probably talking to my mom. My mom loves saying toot.
Really?
Big fan of the word toot.
I just told you about a neti pot.
That's unbelievable.
Right?
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, but I was like, your mom was nervous that I have a sinus infection, but I was like, I think I have allergies. And as I was telling you guys earlier, I wasn't feeling well this week. I was being all stuffy, but I was like, I started neti potting, and she's like, what is that?
That's so surprised. My mom is like the queen of remedies. Her purse is like a CVS.
It's like my mom. It's all the moms.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when we go to check and we leave, my mom gives us these 3 day antibiotics just in case.
You can't do that here in America because you need prescriptions for medicine.
Well, my mom got a prescription. My mom has a lot of doctor and pharmacist friends, and they just do it.
Susan, Teresa, okay? Susan is in Colombia. And yes, she's in the cab with her semi-swell dog.
Okay, let me stop here, right? Guys, you know I love dogs. You know I want to get a dog. I love all dogs. Swell, semi-swell, not swell. We joke about it. I love them all.
Oh, boy.
But
it's no cat.
No cat. There's certain types of dogs I would prefer. Moving on. I think bringing a very pampered dog on a first date says a lot about you.
Okay.
And I feel like the way she loves the dog after she said this is the dog's like 25th trip, that she should have left the dog with Juan or at the hotel. Like, go meet the dude. Maybe if there is a second date, bring the pup. But I think it just says a lot.
So normally I would agree with you.
Okay.
But I also believe when people show you who they are, believe them. And Susan sucks. She's showing people who she is. So I say, Susan, bring the dog with you because that's who you are, and let whoever you're dating know who you are.
Yeah, but okay.
It's not like if Susan didn't have that semi-sweller with her, we'd be like, oh, Susan's amazing. Like if she would just leave the dog at home for once, maybe she'd find love. We're like, no, Susan sucks. And let people know that you also can let go of your dog for 3 hours so that you could focus on your date.
Well, I get that she loves her dog. I feel like if you have a dog, you love the dog like a baby. And I'm all for it, but I feel like here's why I have a problem with it. Not even the type of a dog or that it's like a very pampered dog. It's the way she talks about the dog. It's like the dog is the most important person in the room, no matter who she's with, right?
I mean, that's a lot of pet owners.
I guess, but if you're on a first date and it's like, oh, here's my semi-swell dog,
right.
And my semi-swell dog is walking slow. We gotta walk slow.
Right.
It's all about the dog.
100%. If I was going on a first date, again, we have to couch and context things here. And it's a first date. I want to be the center of attention if I'm going on a date. I don't want to be second to a dog.
Yeah.
So, yes, I think it says a lot that you're going on a first date. She didn't bring the dog on the other first date. So it's possible to leave that dog behind.
That's probably true.
But you chose to bring this dog. It says something about you, and it says something about your potential date, which is I don't take you that seriously because at least half of my attention is going to be going to this dog.
And so I think maybe she took the dog because she's going to city tour with this young musician who she's like, I would never date a musician or any artist whatsoever, but okay, I'll give it a shot.
Well, so this guy's Carlos. Juan's thought process here is, well, Susan loves art, and Carlos is a musician and an actor, and it's like, all right. Well, first of all, those two things don't necessarily go together. Just because you love art doesn't mean you want to date a struggling musician.
Here's why I think that Juan sucks. Juan looks at their checklist and he finds someone who has these things that she asked for, but they don't go with the overall ask, right? He's going for like, okay, she likes art, he's a musician, check.
Right.
She wants someone younger, check. She wants someone hot, check. He doesn't go deeper in thinking, okay, yes, he's a struggling artist, wanna be an actor, which is a big no-no for her.
Right. It would be like if Juan going, well, she's a police officer and he's a criminal. Check. It's like, right? Just because those things are in the same world doesn't mean they go together.
I think I really like how Katarina approaches Harold because she basically said, all right, I've worked with people with autism. I also know what's best for him based on what he told me, but it's not what he asked for. But let me, instead of just shutting him down, saying, oh, Harold, you don't need a skinny, model-esque looking check to be happy, but let me set you up with one and see how that goes. And then when you come back and say, all right, well, maybe I don't need someone who is tall and blonde and skinny. I just need someone who's going to accept me the way I am.
Right.
Then Katarina was like, thank you. I have a girl for you.
And here's why it's smart, because we'll see Harold next week, I think, go on this date with someone who seems like a better match. If he had never gone on a date with the tall, blonde check, even if...
She wasn't that tall.
Whatever.
Okay.
Neither are you. You're saying it
that's why I'm saying it. Like,
okay.
I feel like
I thought you were saying like, I'm tall, she's not tall.
No, I'm average. Like, I'm not tall, I'm not short. And I think that was her too.
Okay, but even if, what's his name, Harold. If Harold went on this date that he's about to go on, and it was great, but he had never gone on the date with the blonde Barbie check girl, he would be questioning, okay, well, I know this date's great, but I still imagine that blonde Barbie girl, like that could be even better. So at least he's tasted it and be like, oh, it's not as great as I thought it would be.
Oh, absolutely.
Now I can focus.
Yeah, but that was that was Katarina's thought process, and I loved it. Juan, I was like, all right, first one, you're setting her up on someone who has what she asked for, but he's an asshole.
I don't think he was an asshole, though. That's the reason I don't like Susan. I think that date stunk, and he was trying to fill space by talking. I think it was editing. There was like one moment where it was like, oh, she tried to say something, and then he was like, oh, yeah, well, that reminds me of this story I want to tell. Other than that, I think it was just like, well, this date is boring, so I'm just going to talk to try to make some connection.
I think Miguel, the first date, was someone who is very proud of himself, which is great, happy what he achieved, and likes to talk about it. But I think that's Susan too. And I think that's why there was an issue. Because, because all of a sudden, oh, wait a minute, he talks about himself. What about me? Right?
Sure.
But let's say I was like, okay, Juan, it was one match, it didn't work out. The next one's probably going to be amazing. This one's even worse. What are you doing?
This guy, Carlos, pops out like Crocodile Dundee. Like, what is he wearing? And
it was a vibe. All the ladies agree.
It was an American.
Don't wear it, but it was this like, okay, I'm in a foreign country and I have a fantasy about Crocodile Dundee, and here he is.
It was an American Eagle t-shirt.
Was it?
Paired with a fedora.
What's a fedora?
And some whatever Crocodile Dundee wannabe hat he was wearing, paired with some necklaces.
Yeah, he was very like natural and hunter, kind of like a Amazon hunter vibe.
Oh boy.
I'm just quoting all the ladies who messaged me. Everyone's like,
he was attractive. But this date felt like he was an escort. Like he was paid to go take her around town.
I also don't think he was attracted to her.
Of course not.
No, but
although she's attractive.
Oh, she is.
She's an attractive lady, but this guy
not to her looks necessarily. Her personality, like
personality stinks.
She has a way about herself, and this dude looks like someone who can pack up and go, and he's probably couch surfing, and he does whatever job he can find. He's adventurous. Susan is not. Susan probably has an Excel spreadsheet about her shoes in her closet, like all listed and organized by price and color.
Yeah,
you cannot match these two people together.
No, I mean, one of them eats ants.
Yeah, I would try it.
The other one eats caviar.
I would try it if they were like crispy and fried.
I would try it, sure. If we were in a country that they ate ants on the regular and we're like, no, this is the best ant place, you gotta go. 5 stars on Yelp for their ants.
You had a snail.
I've had snail, I've had snake, I've tried things when you're supposed to try them.
You hated the snail.
I wouldn't have ants in Florida.
True. Ugh.
So that's what I'm saying. Okay, so then they're on their date, whatever. They're gallivanting through town.
Did you have the gator when we went to your friend's party?
I don't think there, but I feel like I tried it elsewhere. Fried gator bites.
Yeah, I think I tried it there. It tastes like a chewy chicken.
Mm-hmm.
But it was our friend's husband.
Yeah, he killed the
gator. Yeah, and it was like, here's your barbecue.
Yeah. So okay, so then they're making their way through this town, and they happen upon some street performers. And Carlos, he's like, I dance. Not do you want to dance? He goes, I dance. Do you want to see me dance?
He was flexing. Here's the thing. I think for him, it's like, all right, I can do this. Watch me, Susan, and watch my GoPro so I can post it on my social media later.
Yeah.
Susan was not impressed.
No, he's too showy. He's too flashy.
Oh, yeah.
He wants the attention. Yes, not a match. But
capoeira. That's a dance. Capoeira.
Oh, nice. So they end up stopping for a beer to wash down those ants. And Carlos teaches Susan how to cheers. Classic move when you're in a foreign country. Learn the cheers, learn how to toast. They do. Susan just sitting there the entire time petting her dog, right? Couldn't be bothered with anything but her dog. And I'm getting hot tour guide vibes. I'm not getting, this is actually a first date.
No, it's not, especially because Carlos is like passionately telling her that he went to school to be an IT guy, but then he was like, fuck it, I'm gonna travel, I wanna enjoy life, I wanna become an actor. And Susan is like, actor? And she tells the cameras like, I avoid that type of people like a plague.
Like the plague.
Well, that's why your dude sucks, Susan.
We can talk off the mic if you want, but
Don't give me a dude.
I won't. But where did you pick up the? Where did you pick this up from?
I don't know.
Okay.
I watched Twilight the whole week. I don't think it was on Twilight. It's more serious vampires.
Sure.
Then I watched How I Met Your Father, but it really sucked.
You
so I
did?
fell asleep.
I could see them using too.
Yeah. But I
Maybe.
really fell asleep because it's really bad. It's with Hilary Duff, but it's really bad.
Oh,
It's really, really bad.
Okay.
Maybe they said
they
two.
probably did.
Because I feel like that's all I watched. Just Twilight and yeah, a lot of Twilight.
All right.
I love Twilight.
Okay. So, all right. The date's the date. It comes to an end. Susan has had it with Juan at this point. So what is he doing? He doesn't understand what I'm looking for. Is he even a matchmaker? To that I say, I don't know, Susan. I feel like he just hung up a sign one day and said, I'm a matchmaker now.
Yeah.
But I think she needs to have a word with him.
Yeah. He's as much of a matchmaker as I am a...
Matchmaker.
No, I was going to say a personal trainer because I go to the gym, but I don't know how to teach. So maybe he set up one friend with another and was successful. So he was like, I'm going to be a matchmaker.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how you become a matchmaker, but I would imagine anyone who's a successful matchmaker, it's got to be a lot of a psychology background to understand like what personality types go together.
I mean, on maths, DP is a sociologist.
That makes sense.
Yeah, she also sucks. And PC is a pastor, which
A dirty pastor.
he's a DP. Oh,
I know. I think we've come to that realization. Two DPs. A Dr. Pepper and a dirty pastor.
but they do definitely have some sort of a background. I know that I've seen on on some TV shows that pastors do coach people who are about to get married to make sure they're compatible. So,
of course.
Yeah.
Of course. All right. Shall we move on?
Yes.
Stanika.
Let's move to our friend Stanika. I like Stanika a lot.
Okay. She's back from we're back at the date from hell.
Yeah, well, we picked up where we left off, right?
Yeah. AKA family therapy.
So Sal comes back from his run after mom, right? And he's explaining that the fight with his parents wasn't over her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you're not making this any better. But he's like, well, I'm sad because your smile went away. And that is a minute of silence. And then the translator translates and she smiles. And I'm like, this is so awkward.
The fight was over the fact that the parents showed up at the restaurant.
Yeah.
And he did not want them to. So I think when we all saw the parents enter, we thought to ourselves, oh, this was planned.
Well,
he wanted his parents to meet his potential wife.
Well, I think his parents showed up thinking, oh, she is the wife. Like, this is it. They're going to get married. This is a setup.
It's an arranged marriage. Right? It's all but done. And
I don't think the parents understood. And that's why he was like, no, like, I just met her. Like, go away.
Yeah. But it makes sense why he got upset because it's like hanging out. You're in high school. You have a girl over and all of a sudden you hear the door unlock. Like, wait, what? My parents are home? And it's like, that's what he was experiencing. Is like, wait, why are you guys here? Oh, I'm supposed to be on a date. And so I think that's why.
Is that what you did in high school?
Nothing. There was no sexual part to that story. It was just watching a movie. And then the parents walking in and going, oh, hey, John. And me going, oh, hey, well, what are you guys doing here?
Oh, gee. Okay.
And then me taking my girlfriend home on my motorcycle.
All right. Speaking of motorcycles, right?
I don't know why every guy has a motorcycle on this show.
I don't know. I don't like motorcycles, but it's my personal preference.
You loved when we took that moped around Algonquin.
Yeah, that was fine. Riding 25 miles per hour around George Bush's house.
Yeah. That was a good time. I am also opposed. I think if I was a girl, I would probably not want to on a first date throw a motorcycle helmet on my hair that I probably spent a decent amount of time trying to look right.
I also feel like if a dude wanted to take me on a ride on a first date, I would not do it. I would be like, absolutely fucking not. It's just not my thing.
You need to trust the person.
Absolutely.
If you're going to hop on the back of a motorcycle.
Even if I trusted a person, I would be like, I don't think so. I don't like motorcycles. And it's my personal preference. I've never liked them. Love cars. I watch NASCAR.
I love cars. I have a car.
Well, I like fast cars. I watch NASCAR. I would totally go. You know how you can get the extreme experience to ride a NASCAR car for like $500 to do two rounds. I would totally do that. I would totally go 180 miles per hour. I just don't want to get on a motorcycle.
Fair enough. All right. So, okay. Sala ends up bringing Stanika back to her hotel via motorcycle.
Yeah.
And
I feel like they should have stayed on a motorcycle because you don't have to talk. Because they cannot talk. They cannot communicate.
Yeah, but you don't want Sala using his cell phone to translate while he's driving his motorcycle.
No, but then they get to the hotel and they both are on their phones. And I know they're trying to translate, but I'm sure they both check their Instagram or texted their parents like, this is not going too well.
It's kind of disappointing because at the restaurant, I thought maybe this could work.
No.
I know she's feeling something for Nordine.
Not even forget Nordine. This was a suckish date.
Okay. I didn't mind Sala. I had no ill will towards Sala.
No ill will because, listen, I think this is a little different than 90. 90, you have some time, you date first, and if you don't speak the same language, you decide that, all right, I'm going to bring them to the US. I'm going to teach them, right? These are people looking for a partner.
Good point.
I think speaking some level of English to the point that you can communicate in this case is important.
Good point. And it was comical because when they got back to the hotel and they were trying to talk, they were using the translator. But Stanika kept forgetting to use the translator.
Yeah.
So she would just be like, oh, yeah, family is important. Family means togetherness. And he's like, translator? What do you translate?
Well, I'm glad she was being honest because she thanked him. She's like, I had a nice time, but we're not a match. There is no chemistry. So, and he agreed. So,
yeah. So that was that date. I think she'll probably go back to Nordine, or I would hope so.
Well, I feel like she should go on another date just to try it out one more time because she had a great date. She had a suckish date. Let's see one more. Let's see how you feel then.
The old Goldilocks. 3.
Oh, okay.
The rule of 3 is too hot, too cold, just right.
All right.
Okay.
So one more. We have poor Natalie because she's also with Juan.
Yeah.
And I feel like Juan wants to bang her before I learned that he has like 5 kids.
Juan does?
Yeah. And
so he probably wants to bang her even more than he's clearly very...
His eldest daughter is 27. Natalie is 25.
Interesting.
I mean, maybe, he might like, listen, besides Juan sucking as a matchmaker, he's not bad looking. But why is he hanging out with her all the time?
I've been gone for too long, guys. I'm not going away for a week.
Not my type, but he's not bad looking, right? Okay. But why is he keep hanging out with her? They went salsa dancing, now they're playing pool. You don't play pool with Susan. You don't go salsa dancing with Susan.
That's not a bad point you're making, Teresa.
Right?
Yeah.
Listen,
where's the office meeting, Juan?
Natalie's very cute. So
I think so.
She is.
I know she doesn't want to hear this, but I think she's kind of sexy.
Jeez.
Really? You were talking about how hot Carlos was, so let me share my feelings.
I don't think she's sexy. I think she's pretty and cute.
Her fear of sexiness is what makes her sexy.
Am I sexy?
You're not scared of being sexy, so Natalie being like, I don't know, I'm scared of being sexy. I'm like, that's sexy. You're doing it.
Really?
In a way. If she was like, look at me, I'd be like, stop, calm down, settle down. But because she's like a little bashful about it,
okay,
it's more becoming.
Okay.
I don't like people who are full of themselves.
Oh, Me neither, and I'm not. I joke about it more so than anything.
No, I know.
But I think she's very cute. I feel like I don't even see her with a guy. I just see her with like a pony.
Interesting.
Like
Okay.
she's so cute that I just want to put her in a box and put her on a shelf with her pony.
All right. Interesting. Let's talk about her and Juan at the pool hall. They're talking. Natalie's filling Juan in on her date with seawater. And she says, I don't think I've ever gone on a date like that. Never dated a personal trainer, never dated a guy with all those tattoos, but it was a good experience to date someone different. And then she fills Juan in on the rooftop pool session.
Yeah, that's why I'm like consent to her, because she's like, yeah, like he jumped into the pool and he was like all like naked, and then we just went home. And he's like, why? Why? Is it your mom that's in your head?
Yeah.
Like, you're young. You should experiment. And I'm
Why
like,
didn't you take your clothes off?
I'm like, you dirty Juan.
Yeah. No, I didn't think about that, but I'm now putting the pieces together.
And it got to her because she changed her behavior, and Juan picked up on it, and he's like, oh, is your mom is your mom in your head? I'm like, dude, like he talks to her very differently than he talks to Susan.
Well, they have two different roadblocks.
Two different dudes, but he shouldn't. They're both clients. You should treat them the same.
I disagree. Treat them with the same level of respect and professionalism.
Yeah.
But if they're each going through their own issues, you have to address those issues. And so Susan's issues,
It's Susan.
it's Susan. It's not Susan's mom. So that's why the approach is a little bit different.
Isn't it the song that I like? Susan's mom, she's got it going on.
If you like Susan's mom, you should see Stacy's mom.
I was just gonna say, I love that song. Okay, moving on.
So, no, you're right. And Juan ends up bringing up his kids and saying, I had to learn to let my daughters be free and make their own decisions. So you need to do that independent of your mom. So
Juan is just hoping she has daddy issues.
he's not giving bad advice, but yes, he may be trying to insert himself, no pun intended.
I think she needs like a guy who is in his mid-20s, either in law school or about to go to law school, something environmental. So he's like a nice guy, not full of himself, nice tooth, and she's gonna love her.
Oh my God. What's the toot counter at now? 6? Okay. All right.
But yeah, she just needs someone who's like extremely nice, but like extremely well educated, and someone who just has everything, has his shit together.
Yeah.
But not someone too old, because I think she still needs to have a little bit of fun, but like her way of fun.
I agree. Teresa, maybe
Go wild, get 2 scoops of ice cream on a Wednesday night.
Maybe
Wild.
you would be a good matchmaker.
I think I would be a great matchmaker, actually.
All right.
Who knows, guys? Stay tuned.
Who knows? All right. That is the episode. Season 1, episode 5. Sorry for the delay.
Yeah, but this is much better being together than be like, John, your connection is wrong. Hey, John.
You guys didn't hear because maybe you are on the Patreon. Some of you guys heard.
It wasn't bad on the Patreon, but John had to be on a phone with the internet people at the hotel for hours to figure it out. So.
I had to call IT. I was talking. It wasn't even Marriott IT. They gave me some offsite IT. I called 3 times. I spent a total of probably a half hour on the phone with these people trying to figure out the internet so we could record the podcast remotely. And then we finished, and it was great that we could finish. As soon as we finished, the internet went down again. I had to use my hotspot to upload it. It was a mess. It was an absolute mess, Teresa. But we're back together in person. That's how we like it. That's how we like it, Teresa. All right.
That's how we like it.
So thank you guys for waiting patiently. We appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Make sure you're following us on Instagram at Married to Reality Pod.
Yes.
Join the Patreon, patreon.com/Married to Reality. Make sure you're listening and subscribed wherever you are listening. I guess you are listening. It's easy to subscribe. Smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's as hot as hopefully next episode, because we're going to be back in the Czech Republic.
I hope so. I can't wait. Maybe we'll get imagine when we have 2 people in Czech and we
I
can
need that.
we can spend
we
twice.
have 2 people everywhere.
Yeah, we can spend twice the amount of time in the Czech Republic.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Take us to the Czech Republic.
All right, so thank you. Smash like it's as hot as the Czech Republic. And if you haven't left a review, please do. We love the love.
Love the love.
If you could leave a review, that would make our week.
Yes.
All right, that is it. I've said it all.
Said it all.
You've said it all. You've said too much. You really did. At the top of the show, you said too much.
Did I?
I thought about saying it then.
Well,
but
listen,
you were talking about my penis, Teresa.
Oh, yeah.
My point. What was the point? What did you say?
No. Your peak.
My peak. Yes. Talking about my peak. All right. That is it. Before we
I
go
missed you.
I know. Before we go too far, we've said it all. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.